McAfee Security as a Service, the SaaS 5.4 features. McAfee SaaS 5.4 has feature changes in three basic areas: detection, performance, and reporting. The McAfee SaaS 5.4 changes include new cookie reporting, and the most significant change is in the update scheduling area. The on-demand scan throttle has moved its page in the policy area, and spyware is in a new default mode of protect. The on-access scan enable feature on update is now a policy-making option. And Site Advisor also has new default settings. We can take a look at these in the SaaS 5.4 beta. I've opened a Security as a Service Security Center console and we'll go directly to the reporting area for detections. The difference in detection reporting is that cookies will no longer be collected and reported. So as you review your reports, you may still have cookies on your reporting from prior to the cutoff, and they should work their way out of the reporting cycle by 2013. Cookies will no longer be collected and reported, and that is a customer request saying that you didn't feel that the reporting needed to include the cookie detections. Next, we'll review the policy change area. We'll add a policy by duplicating the McAfee default. The most significant change is in the update settings. Change for updates every, and we'll have changes here as well as the default settings. The default after boot up was to seek an update check 5 minutes after boot up. That has now been changed to 15 minutes. Also, the machine will check to make sure it is idle before we proceed with the update check-in. The configuration area that's changed, in addition to having your interval checks, is check for updates every day between, and you can indicate a specific start and end time. So for our example, let's start at 4 in the afternoon, and we'll go to, say, 6 p.m. And there's also an additional line here. The out-of-date clients check for updates every X hours, between 2 and 12 hours. So if the initial triggers are missed, including the check for the interval, this means that the machines will check in on a frequency of every 2 to every 12 hours to make sure that even if they miss their scheduled time for updating, they will have an opportunity to check in and get the latest stats. In the virus and spyware protection area, the maximum percentage of CPU time allocated for on-demand scans, this is the throttle, has moved to this page. It was previously on the advanced settings page. Also changed is the default priority. The priority right now is low by default, and you can make that very low or all the way up to high. So the new setting of low, as well as its move to this same page of where you schedule your on-demand scan. Below, in the spyware protection mode, the default will now be protect rather than to prompt the users. So the machines are protected from spyware by default and require no user interaction. Going to the browser protection and web filtering area, the changes occurred in the content rules area. In content rules, the default settings with Site Advisor now has certain categories in block mode by default. And it is these top number here, and they happen to be the categories associated with security. So the security categories, like anonymizers, remote access, spyware, adware, keyloggers, these are in a status of block by default. You can override the default, of course, For example, maybe in personal network storage, you'd like to put that into a warn mode. You can simply override it and then save the new policy and assign it appropriately. These are the 6 main areas for the SaaS 5.4 feature changes. We hope you find them helpful in the areas of reporting, performance, and detection. As always, we welcome your feedback for McAfee SaaS products. Thank you.